Star Wars games have been ridiculously hit or miss over the last decade, largely thanks to Disney signing the exclusive license over to EA. This, unsurprisingly, was the result to EA making some of the most overpriced and predatory Star Wars games to date, but it also meant after all that backlash, the Battlefront 2 EA used their massive wallets to fund some great redemption games like Jedi Fallen Order, Star Wars Squadrons, and the total overhaul of Battlefront 2's multiplayer. However, just recently, Disney declined to renew EA's exclusivity license and are now working with a ton of different publishers to get a wide variety of Star Wars games out. Similar to how they used to license out the franchise to a ton of different companies during the days of the PS2 and PS3. One of the most anticipated Star Wars games in the oven right now is Star Wars Outlaws from Ubisoft, the team behind the massive open world game, The Division 1 and The Division 2. And what we know so far, the game actually sounds pretty awesome. You'll be playing as a mercenary, picking up jobs around the galaxy in the original story set between the episodes 5 and 6. And as the making of this video, Ubisoft hasn't confirmed when the game is coming out, but a new leak just started making its way around the internet that may or may not give us a better idea of when we can expect to play the long-awaited open world adventure Star Wars Outlaws. So let us know in the comment section if you'll be buying the new Star Wars Outlaws game. Drop a like on this video and let's get into it. Now, our intel today comes from someone on Reddit who claims to have a connection at Lucasfilms, specifically their brother-in-law. The identity of the leaker can't be verified, obviously, so you have to take that with a grain of salt because it totally could end up being fake, but also it's loose enough of a connection that it could also be 100% legitimate. So proceed with caution, but according to this source, their brother-in-law who works at Lucasfilm says that Star Wars Outlaw is currently targeting a Q2 release date for next year, meaning it should be out before the end of June. They also said there is a Switch port of Star Wars Squadrons in the works that is going to be released some point in 2024. They also said that we should expect to see a trailer for the upcoming Indiana Jones game at the Game Awards in December, which I know isn't Star Wars related, but it's still coming under the Lucasfilms umbrella. But if you have been waiting to get your hands on the Ubisoft Star Wars game, you seemingly won't have to wait much longer, which is good news. This should also mean that the marketing campaign should ramp up in the next few months, probably similar to how the marketing campaign for the last major Star Wars game was, Jedi Survivor. It really cranked it up within the 2 to 3 months leading up to the launch. Disney has made it clear that they want to see at least one Star Wars game dropping every year, which was a part of the reason why they didn't renew the exclusivity deal with EA. And since 2023 was the year of Jedi Survivor, it makes sense for Outlaws to come out next year. And while Ubisoft has already stated that the game won't drop at the end of 2024, there were a lot of people worried that it would be pushed back to 2025 due to all the other Ubisoft projects that haven't been hit with the delay hammer recently. The publisher has been really in a tough spot the last few years, and Star Wars Outlaws should help them get out of the hole. But with this recent leak, it seems that they're trying to get the game out to public in rather the near future, which should be a really good revenue reports, and it'll be good for the reputation of the developers. Now, after all the technical issues that Jedi Survivor launched with, I don't think Star Wars fans are willing to put up another buggy launch in the Star Wars universe. I genuinely think this game has to launch not buggy at all, optimized, and just be polished for launch like a game should be. It shouldn't be push it out and fix the game later. So hopefully Star Wars Outlaws, Ubisoft nails it out of the park. But what do you think? Do you think Star Wars Outlaws is actually going to drop at the end of June of 2024? Or do you think it's going to be hit with the Ubisoft source and end up being delayed? Like I said, Disney wants at least one high profile Star Wars game dropping every year. So if Outlaws is the main event for 2024, what's next? Will Respawn's long-awaited FPS game come out in 2025? Or what about the Star Wars strategy games that's also in the work? And there's also the rumored Mandalorian MMO or the remake of Knights of the Old Republic, assuming the game is ever going to get finished. I have a feeling we're about to get absolutely showered with Star Wars games over the next 3 to 5 years, but hopefully the end result is better than what the fan base experienced. But no matter what, when these games come out, they're worth our time and our money. Let us know in the comment section below what you think about this new intel. Make sure you sub to the channel with all your notifications turned on so you don't miss any future updates. This has been Zach with VGL. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one.